comes that almost kills the black men underground in the mud and water, in their cages come graves, locked there by the white men who hold the keys. The trust and care established through Hyman's ordinary note provide the means through which Paul D. and the 45 other men held not only in chattel slavery, but also in a prison labor camp, grab onto those 1,000 feet of hand-forged chain, hold on to each other, plunge into, up, and out through the mud, and escape that prison/grave/ship in Alfred, Georgia. With that note, they are held. Note 3. Quote, "The past, or more accurately, pastness," Michel Rothtriot tells us, "is a position," end quote. Several years ago, when we were in Erlangen, Germany, R and I went to the Nazi Documentation Center and Nazi Party Rally Grounds in Nuremberg. By the time we left, after watching the films and viewing the installations and the displays of photographs, books, racist games, and more, we were convinced that depending on where one stood, this memorialization would actually attract people to Nazism. The objects function as memorabilia, a memorialization not of the wounded, but of the perpetrator. We observed the other people at the center. Some of their faces were filled with admiration for the brutalities of white nationhood and the heraldic call of white supremacy. They were lit with an emotion that was neither horror at the perpetrators nor sympathy for the victims. The visual and sonic repetitions in the documentation center may now be, or may have always been, incapable of doing the work of never again that in their installation they were intended to do. We saw in them not the condemnation of the Nazis, but their glorification. These displays enter a present in which, quote, "in no way can we identify the past as past," end quote. Note 4. You are going to have to fight. In the Style section of the New York Times on Saturday, January 19th, 2019, Shaquille Heath's article, "The Other Talk," appears as part of the Rites of Passage series. In this instance, the other talk is the conversation that black parents have with their black children about anti-black racism. Heath recalls a conversation with her usually reticent father in which he gives her a language and a frame by which she can make sense of experiences that she has already had. She is 13 years old. He tells her, quote, "You are going to have to work 10 times harder than white people. You are going to have to fight to be treated equal, even to be treated fairly. And when you do, you will still lose. And when you win, they will call you the N-word. They will try to make it impossible for you to succeed. And when you do, they will try to undermine your success. They will make fun of your nose and your hair and the way that you laugh in order to defeat you. You can't let them. You just have to keep going harder," end quote. This talk is a detailed set of black notes about structural anti-black racism, white supremacy, and the afterlives of slavery. Heath recalls when in, quote, "elementary school, we learned about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. My teacher told us how back then black people couldn't drink at the same water fountains as white people, and I sat in agony as all of my white-skinned peers peeked over the tops of their textbooks looking at me, the only black kid in a sea of white. Later, as we left to go out to recess, I stopped at the water fountain to get a drink, and then watched as the white girl after me used her sleeve to wipe the fountain before taking a drink herself," end quote. Heath's recollection reveals the way that the lessons that an institution imagines it is imparting, or the ones that we imagine the institution imagining it is imparting, like racism is bad, or look how